Hello, beautiful creatives. I actually just finished watching Sandy Hester's goodbye video, the one where she shows her empty studio, and I came up here to my studio. I was like crying through that video. It's amazing how attached you get to these places of creation that these YouTube artists do. Anyways, so I finally got my new lights. They came with barn doors, but I didn't use the barn doors because I don't want to have them focused. I want them to be diffused, and they have a little diffuser on them. The newer lights, they're called. They're LED panels, and they are flicker free. When I was trying to do my sketchbook tours, the flicker was so bad from the fluorescent light above, and I have multiple fluorescent lights in the studio, so these LEDs do not flicker. They're constant lights. I'll put a link below if you're a content creator and you've been looking for flicker-free lights. These are working for me. So, but it's a bright day outside, so I don't really actually need the lights. These are the sketchbooks that I have finished. This sketchbook has 3 pages left. I just filmed this demo for you guys. Haven't edited it yet, but that will be going up at some point because you guys voted loose abstract demos and sketchbook tours as your 2 favorite videos. After that was still life, and I think portraits came in last for the type of painting, but there were a few people who voted for that. But the loose landscapes was a biggie. A lot of you said that the loose landscapes was what you liked, and I have so many sketchbooks for you guys. So, and like this one's almost full. I have 2 downstairs that are almost full. So I could like do sketchbook tours every week for a month, you know, and still not get through them all. So I think what I'll do is I'll do like a sketchbook tour and then change it up and do a demo, put in a demo so you don't get tired of the sketchbook tours. But that's what I have for you this week. And I'm probably going to do 1 sketchbook at a time in each video to keep the video short and keep editing simple. Okay, so looking at the dates on these, I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go with this largest one because it's the oldest. This one goes back to 2019, and I just finished this one up this year in June. And the thing about it is this is Fabriano paper. These are really expensive sketchbooks. I bought this, well, a very long time ago, and it turns out that it froze me up from using it because it's an expensive sketchbook, and I only wanted to do good art in it. So that kind of, you know, froze me from using it. So I finally, you know, if you've watched me for a while, you know that it was last year, I think it was, that I really committed to filling all of the sketchbooks that I had that were partially done. And I have been doing an amazing job at that. I'm really close to being finished with my half-done sketchbooks. So here this one is. This book gets so many different views from so many different people. Some people absolutely hate this sketchbook, this Fabriano sketchbook, and some love it. And what I have learned is it's not great for watercolor. It is really great for gouache and acrylic. So I think that's where the differences come in. These are really old watercolors. Yeah, I didn't date stuff back then. And it looks like this ended up, I don't know what happened to this. It got a bunch of gesso or something all over it. And then these were master studies. These were Henry Manguin, so Henri, I suppose. And the last name is Manguin. Love his work. You know, a lot of his work is on Pinterest, and these were done in acrylic. And I really had fun doing both of these. Looks like my camera's a little crooked, but I think instead of stopping and adjusting it, I'm just going to go with it. More watercolors, and you probably can't see in the camera, but this paper just fell apart with the watercolor, with the scrubbing in harsh treatment that I tend to do when I use watercolor. This paper hated it. It didn't like being really wet. Yeah, just, I don't recommend it for watercolor. Somebody may disagree with me, but that's just how I feel. More acrylic. I think this was golden open acrylic that I used on these. This painting was based on a Mary Oliver poem, I believe. There's little birds in the tree, and I forget what the poem was, but girl walking through a cemetery and the dog had an injured leg. Again, this is acrylics. This also, I believe, was a Mary Oliver poem about Easter and Jesus riding, I don't know, I forget what the poem was, but something about Jesus and a donkey. Yeah, we had a donkey like that when I was growing up. Her name was Amarilla. And this was maybe a combination of watercolor and gouache. Dandelions. This was daffodils upside down. Upside down daffodils. And again, still not dating these at this point, so not sure when they were. This was a dream that I had. Everybody's shoes are off outside the church. These people are either taking their shoes off to go inside the church or coming out and putting their shoes on. And the foxes are coming out of the woods and dancing around the fire. It's a crazy dream. Oh, this was a course that I took on Saint Hildegard by Matthew Fox, a spiritual writer. He's written lots of books on Christianity and saints. So these both were based on the life and teachings of Saint Hildegard. I really love this one. I've actually sold a few prints of this one. People seemed to really fall in love with that. There's a lot there to love. This was, oh, I'm going to forget your name, but this was a friend of mine from Canada, I believe. Oh, I hate that I'm forgetting your name. I wish I had written it down here. This is a gouache painting, and she posted this photograph one day, and I loved the photograph. So I asked her if I could paint it. And she graciously said yes. It just had, every element was great. It was like this wonderful clouds in the sky. I loved this building. I loved the light and shadow. And of course, this gorgeous car with the driver. You could just barely see the driver. This also was gouache. So this was 7/16/21. And this was the next day, 7/17/21, just an interior. And another interior that I did in gouache. This is actually my living room, a section of my living room. And this was gouache. Yeah, it feels like gouache. I still have that plant. This was a woman. Again, I didn't write down her name, but she had posted a picture of her, her living space, her dining room, and I asked her if I could paint it, and she said yes, and I changed so much of it, I don't think she liked it. I think she was upset that I didn't leave it the way it actually was, but this was Blick Acrylics, 6/12/22, just playing around with some expressive painting. This was, there's a demo of this on my YouTube channel where I actually demoed this. Paul Rubens oil pastels. These cured really nicely. I did spray it with a couple of coats of Sennelier fixative, but really pleased with how this ended up curing and setting up. It's very hard. But that was Paul Rubens, very thick impasto texture. They were kind of a little bit waxy pastels. I talk about what I didn't like about them and what I did like about them and compare them to some other pastels that I used. I'll try to remember to put the link to that video, but if you go to my channel, you'll see I think there's a playlist on this type of, on art journal demos. This was Mungio Gallery pastels, and again, they've cured up really nicely. They were fixed with the Sennelier also. Both of these were Mungio Gallery, and this was $2.24, and this was the next day, $2.25. And these, I think, were master studies from Fairfield Porter. I think that's what those were. This was a demo I did, I believe, for YouTube on Soho acrylics. I actually really liked those acrylics. I never bought more. It was a sample set that I was sent, little tiny tubes, but I never bought more. And I think I actually gave them away in one of my giveaways. This was $227.22. I didn't buy more just because I had so many acrylics, but they're not shiny. I really like the finish on these. And I loved the colors. This was System 3 acrylics. And was this System 3? I think this was Utrecht. Pretty sure this was System 3 and this one was Utrecht acrylics. This is very thick. I don't know if you can see it, but it's super thick paint. Didn't date these, so I don't know when I did those. This, I feel like this was a demo I did on YouTube too. Sometimes I get confused about which ones I did on YouTube or Patreon, but this was $8.15.23, and this was a mixture of golden, Utrecht, and System 3 paints. Very expressive landscape in acrylic. Mixed media. I think I used some other things in here too. Really like the scraping back and the texture that gave. This was a demo that I did with a kit that I was sent, one of those boxes that they send you with mixed art supplies in it, and then you have to do a painting, or you're meant to do a painting. So this was the idea that I came up with for that box. It was kind of a tough mix because the only yellow there was a yellow pencil, and it wasn't working very well, so I think I did add my own yellow watercolor. But I definitely did a full-length demo on this. Again, sorry, I don't remember if it's on Patreon or YouTube. But if you did some poking around, I'm sure you'd find it, because like I said, I have a playlist with all my demos on it. But this was fun. It was a fun little painting. Again, you know, a little challenging to get the sort of flow that I wanted with the watercolors on this particular paper. And that was March 2023. This is more acrylics. These have been waxed. I have a note here that these have been waxed with the Dorland's cold wax, which I coat my pages with the Dorland's cold wax so that they don't stick together. It's not 100% bulletproof, so sometimes I do put a piece of paper in between, piece of deli paper. But this was inspired by Henry or Henri Manguin, again, one of his paintings. It's not really a copy or a study of it. It's a different composition, but definitely inspired by him. And that was 9/14/23. These, not sure what I painted these with. Feels like acrylic. This feels like gouache, and this feels like acrylic. And this, well, this says that it's waxed, so that tells me this must be a flat acrylic. Maybe it's an acrylic gouache. Yeah, I bet that's what it is, because it's pretty flat. But this was 2/16/24. Just imaginary still lifes. Just some fun little still life paintings. Oh, this was after Nico died. Across all of my journals, whatever journals I was working in then, I kept painting women with dogs. And I kept painting dogs, the color pattern of my Nico. This was like a ghost dog that she was pointing to. 4/21 24, it looks like. My Nico again, my beautiful Nico. I miss him so much. I still miss him. He's been gone a couple of years and I still miss him so much. I really like this painting because of the foreshortening. You know, her hands, the things in the foreground, and especially her hands and her arms look so big, and then it goes back to her tiny little head in the distance. This is a mixed media, acrylic, a lot of sgraffitos scratching in on this one. Super fun to do. Oh, this one was inspired by a Misty Mon class. We were, Misty Mon workshop, Matters of the Heart. So I believe it was combining poetry and art. So I found 2 different photos on Pinterest. This was a couple from some movie. Can't remember what the movie was called, but so I did them, I painted them, and then I found this picture, so I just incorporated it into, this was a picture of, it was either wallpaper or this was like an interior setup with that wallpaper behind it, I forget, but it just went so well together. I was really pleased with how this came out. This was when my mom died. My mom died very unexpectedly. And she died in May, so this was done August 1st and 2nd and, of last year, not this year. And this was actually a photo that I took in the hospital of me holding her hand the day before she died. And then there's a poem that I wrote on here. I don't think I'll take the time to read the whole poem, but you can look it up. It's a Tennessee Williams poem, and it's called "We Have Not Long to Love." So that might be something worth Googling to read the whole poem. But that's an old picture of my mom, vintage picture of my mom, and there's an angel sort of coming to greet her. And there's no better way to help yourself process grief than with painting. This was also part of a Misty Mon shop. And it was again on love, Matters of the Heart, and it was the name of the workshop. So these were just fun. This was Japanese Vogue pictures that I found on, I don't know if it was WikiArt or Pinterest or where I found them, but vintage Vogue covers. And that was kind of fun. This was also a vintage picture, which I painted, and I don't remember where the influence of this one came from, but I'm thinking it was, oh yeah, Misty's class. So this vintage photo came from Misty's class. Also, that was 8/10. Didn't have the year there. Must have been 23. Huh, I gotta get better. Oh, 24. So this was last year? Wow, seems longer ago than that. So that was just last year. This was August 20th of last year. This, I forget if I had a reference photo for this. I think there was a reference photo, but I think I strayed from it. I just kind of went my own way. And I really like this painting. I like the moodiness of it. And I love how it came out. It's got a real emotive feeling to it. I love the sort of foggy background. Real happy with that. That's acrylics. This was another one I did around that time, 8/20. This one was 8/22. And this was just imaginary. I may have had like a reference for the girl. I don't even remember, to be honest with you, but then I just added the creatures, the owl and the moth. And it was fun doing her white eyelashes and her white eyebrows. Acrylic. Again, this is acrylic. And another lady. This actually was in another sketchbook, and I liked the way it came out so much. I took it out and pasted it into this sketchbook, and I used a stencil for this part down here on her dress and a stencil for the wallpaper. Absolutely love the way that came out. Really came out good. This was, oh, I have a note here to myself. This is gouache, do not wax. Yeah, because you don't want to use the Dorlands on gouache. But this was another one for Misty's class. I don't remember the context of it. I think on this section I was going to write the poem, the love poem that was supposed to go with it, and I never got to it, so this sort of just stayed blank. It would have looked nice with the poem written there, but I don't tend to go back and finish things once I've left them, especially if I've left them for a long time. This was also from Misty's Matters of the Heart class. Misty Mon, I highly recommend her workshops. She does not give them often anymore because she's into dance now, but her workshops have always been so good. This was collage. She does a lot of collage. So this was collage, and actually this was collage that I painted over. And then it says with it, I guess we were supposed to write our own poem or piece of prose to go with it. It says, our sacred hearts, when the world's suffering and my suffering become enmeshed in grief and sorrow, when the sheer weight of it threatens to close my heart in fear, remind me to turn towards the source of all love. Her endless capacity for love, peace, and healing brings my own heart back into connection. May all our sacred hearts beat as one. Oh, wait, is there another page here? Oh yeah, this was just playing with faces and writing in the background, just sort of doing some automatic writing. Don't even know if anything in there makes sense, but it was some automatic writing, and then I painted the faces over it. And I'm pretty sure what I used was a Stabilo pencil and then gesso, which is one of my favorite combinations to do expressive faces. And then I went over it with black paint. It looks like black acrylic paint. Oh, and some, I'm not sure if that was gouache or what the peachy color was. This was a master study, and I'm so sad that I didn't write down who it was. Oh, here it is. It's after Ronald Ossery Dunlop. Love his work. I loved this painting. I just loved trying to do these really vague shapes, because when you're doing a master study of someone who paints very vaguely and expressively, you know, they knew what it was back there that they were painting in those shapes, but you don't know, so you're just sort of trying to copy the marks that they were making. I really love this painting. And this one was just imaginary, just an imaginary face. This was 3/11/24. This was Song Dogs. There is a demo on this. I don't remember if I ever posted it to Patreon. I found the raw footage of it. I believe what happened was that this was one of the videos that got lost when the other software that I was using crashed. This was painted 11/19/24. So, if it's not on Patreon, and I'm sure it's not on YouTube, I'm fairly sure, I may try to piece this demo back together and post it to YouTube someday. It's a lot of editing. We'll see. I don't know, but I would like to post it somewhere. And this was just representative of my Alana. Oh, this is a lesson that I did on YouTube. This was Liquitex acrylic gouache, and this was a triad exercise of using three colors, choosing and using three colors, which were bluish purple, yellow green, and yellow orange was the triad that I picked to do the painting, and I had to stay with those colors with only the addition of white or black. That was fun. I love the way Alana sort of grew in size, but she looks cute. This was Shinhan gouache, just an expressive landscape. This was Shinhan gouache, another just playing around. This, I can see on some of these, the paper, I overworked it. This was Arctic's acrylic marker studies this was for the abstract landscape class with, is it Mark Daniel Nelson? I think that's the name of the person who gave it. Yeah, but the paper was falling apart, so I just, because I was using acrylic markers, this paper didn't like it. And that's it. So, wow, that is Sketchbook Tour #1. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And we have all of these and more to look forward to in the weeks to come. I'll probably post this sketchbook tour first, and then I will post that demo, the painting demo, and then go back to doing a sketchbook and sort of try to flip back and forth that way so that you don't get sick of sketchbook tours. But there's these and a few more, so plenty of sketchbooks. If that's your favorite kind of video, you're going to be happy because I've got quite a few of those to do. So, okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. You know the drill. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I am posting sporadically at this point still. I haven't like chosen a day to post, so I'm kind of all over the place. So if it is important to you to see these sketchbook tours, to see these demos, you really might want to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I don't even know when I'm going to be posting at this point. Okay, so God bless. Have a great week. I hope that you are really immersing yourself in your creative practice. These are difficult times that we are living in, and we need to support each other and be there for each other and be kind and be loving. And whatever your gifts are, whatever gift that you have, share it with the world. Share it with your neighbors, share it with your family, because people are hurting right now, and hurt people tend to hurt people. When people are hurt, when they're in pain, when they're sick, when they're struggling with poverty, they tend to lash out. Life gets hard, and that tends to make people lash out. So try to be loving to those that lash out. That's challenging to do, but I know myself that I get grumpy and I can lash out when I'm not feeling good. So patience and loving kindness, really, really important attributes to have in this day and age. So be kind to yourself. Grab the oxygen mask for yourself first and immerse yourself in your creative practice, and then share it with the world with loving quotes, maybe with healing quotes, or in whatever way. Bring your neighbor a dinner, you know, that doesn't get out. Whatever way that you're physically able to share love and share your light into the world. It's so important to do that right now. Okay, I love you guys. I'm really enjoying talking to you guys in the comments again, and I will see you in the next video whenever that lands. Bye for now.